We live again, guys. Thank you for joining us on this episode. We dissect this topic. We kind of like nibble around it in a few episodes, but we think it's really important to just take a look at this again with all the stuff that is going on in the world. So the question um, I want to ask is, how realistic is relocation to the continent for most people, right? Should it be a need or want? So this question came about because I think sometimes um, are we, even so we, meaning everybody living outside the continent, when we go back home, are we factoring in the conditions that our brothers and sisters on the ground are telling us? Are we really factoring that in? Or are we looking at it like, forget it, we will come here, we can overcome it, right? Because the reason I'm asking this question is it looks like we trying to get in, they trying to get out,
Mhm.
right? And so there's something in the middle. We can't all be right and they can't be all wrong.
Mm-hmm.
There's something in the middle. The question is, are we factoring what is it that they want to get out? What is the conditions? Because maybe some of us will be able to overcome some of these things, but there'll be other things just in the because of the environment you find yourself, you cannot negate. So how realistic is this relocation to the country for most people? And should it be a need? A need means like the way some people are making like I need to be on the continent regardless of anything. Or for some of us, is it a want? What do you guys think? Should it be a need or should it be a want?
Ladies first.
Wow. I think it should be a need
Okay.
because in my situation, there was a time where I didn't think about going back to Ghana. Like it was last thing in my mind going to Ghana
Mm-hmm.
until when the time for need came. Like right now, I'm
Mm-hmm.
done with the outside
Good point.
and I need to be home. Like I'm really done with outside. I need to be home.
Mm-hmm.
And talking about the middle part that you said, um, some of us still don't have the middle part. When they hear, they think that's it. I'm here. I'm now going back to Ghana. I'm not waiting. I'm not gonna wait. I'm gonna wait until doomsum is. There's no more doomsum in Accra or in Ghana. So some
Mm-hmm.
of us are really not even up to going. But our brothers and sisters in back home, sometimes they're in some situation that they need to get out
Mm-hmm.
to make something
Great
of
point.
themselves before they go back to Ghana. So then when we are here, we think that we already make something with ourselves. We already
Mm-hmm.
with that maybe
Good point.
the education we need, maybe it's the money we need, maybe it's the kids we're waiting for. So that there's the middle part is that there's something that they
Great
need
points.
to get out and come back later in life. But sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't happen. So you have to be realistic in the way that in the way of life. Like be realistic in the way of life, how you can go back to Ghana and be able to live in Ghana realistically with all that we talked about, with the money, with the house, with the conditions
Good
of
point.
our living in Ghana and our living in outside world.
Hmm. Good point.
Yeah, I think I agree with Haja. It has to be a need because if it's only a want, you're gonna go there, something's gonna shock your system, and you're gonna run back.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be determined that it's something you want to do, right? And the
Mm-hmm.
Good
determination
point.
is what makes it the need, right?
Mhm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because we can all go and visit, right? Holiday away, 2 weeks, we come back, right?
Mhm.
And then reset and then do it again, maybe in two
Great
years or,
point.
longer, right? But if you want to relocate to the continent, it has to be something that is really key, something that you've thought about, something that
Mhm.
you've weighed both sides.
Mhm.
And hopefully, the fact that you're moving to the continent, the purpose for your moving, right, is,
Good
is, is,
point.
is big enough that, you know, it becomes a need. You're like, you know what, like Aja was saying, you know, it got to a point where it's just like, you know what, I'm done with this, right?
Mhm.
That's her purpose, showing her where she needs to be.
Okay, so I'm picking back on what you both said. Now, how realistic is the relocation for a continent for most people? Because sometimes the need is there, but the
Hmm.
means are not there,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
And so I think for I would say for most people that even left the continent or that want to reconnect, I would say I would say probably there's more of the need than the want, right? But then there's a reality of okay, um, how much is the preparation, you know?
Hmm.
And sometimes people on paper can have all the preparation,
Hmm.
but the unknown is
Hmm.
especially if you live there like most of your life, right?
Hmm.
Most of your life. And so it's kind of like I think the danger sometimes, you hear when maybe people will say just go to Africa and it'll be okay. Sometimes it's a little bit for me, I'm like, that is not for everybody, right? That is not for it's not everybody's gonna move there and it will be okay. You see what I'm saying? Um, because it's not like a place that you just go and all your problems goes away. It depends what is it that you are going in for, right? Because people move, some people just move like adjust situation after some time. Uh, you just want to just go home, relax, call like more like on the retirement side, right?
Hmm.
And then a person in a 22 moving back is a different thing. Maybe they might go in there, they're looking at other opportunities, right?
Hmm.
To expand, getting business ventures, that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
So it's not one for all, right? And if you're single, if you got children, that creates its own set of variables that you need to factor. And and I think that it's okay if it becomes a want, because I'll tell you this: when I was building Kaswa, it was a need. It was super super a need, right? That process of building the Kaswas and stuff like that. I think I remember one of the videos I said 5 years. And so once I finished, I started really assessing things because, when I started Kaswa, I didn't have children yet, right? So then children comes into the picture and you start saying, okay, I have to factor what is also, what is the impact. Then it's kind of like, I'm like, okay, I need to pull back and actually, because I didn't want to move and move back. I don't want to do that.
Hmm.
When I go in there, it's going to make it or break it. I just can't be on some YouTube saying, I'm coming back. I don't want to do that. Maybe I will come back through Togo and be quiet. I'm not going to televise that I'm coming back. And so I started also looking at Ghana for more like the future and said, okay, as the country, are we preparing ourselves for even the case to have better opportunities than we did, right? And looking at Ghana's impact on the global sense, and then I started saying, okay, maybe I need to prepare a little bit more, right? I need to prepare a little bit more because what if I get there and maybe this particular infrastructure is still not developed? How am I going to navigate around that? So it went from a need to a strong want, right? Because if it's a need, then I feel like, I can just pack and go, and then you deal with, the implications. So for me, it's more like a want. Now, as the kids get older, it might be a need for them, or maybe something may happen, then it becomes a need. But it's just like, it's so different for everybody. It's so different for the reasons why people just move over there. It's not, some people it's just purely business. They go there and just, they love the place, but it's like purely business. Some people want to go there and try to create a legacy, make a difference. Some people just want to go and rest from the hustle of running around multiple countries. They just want a place. So it is really difficult to really pinpoint, like, it has to be either a need or one, and sometimes it's a combination of a bunch of stuff. Naya, what do you think?
So I have gone through this full circle, right? And it could be a need. Okay, for some people, it's a need because
Mhm.
Good
um,
point.
they have to fulfill that need where they feel like they want a place where they're going to belong. A place
Mhm.
where they're going to be appreciated for who they are, maybe because of the
Great
experiences.
points.
Um, Look, it's an adventure. To me, it's an adventure. Okay, um, because you go into a system where not every system is laid out just like here. Infrastructure wise, kids education. If I want to do it, it will be an adventure, and I will try to make it an exciting adventure. You know, um,
Mhm.
an exciting adventure because to me, I don't see it as scary. I see it as an
Good
adventure,
point.
something that is a challenge. Okay, and I think that we should be all, especially those who want to do it. If
Mhm.
you want to do it, do it now. And in doing it now, I will call for you to prepare towards it, prepare very well. There are other people who have done it, and they're loving it, even though there are challenges. Okay, um, so those who had the the
Great
zeal
point.
to build this nice, beautiful home and go back to, I will call for them to go back to their first love. What drove you to build that house? You know, Look at it again. I mean, um, look, it is possible. I don't want to fall into the
Great
category
point.
of people who think that, you know, look, I get it. You want the kids to finish school here. I think when the kids finish school here in the West, they're well equipped. That is something I believe in. And I
Mhm.
think that the kids should be allowed to finish here, school here. Finish college
Good
here.
point.
They're well equipped. So until then, do the back and forth. If it's 1 month, 3 months, if it's twice every year, twice every 3 years, do it. Let it be ongoing. Instead of squashing that whole thing. I so that the adventure, so that
Great
the
point.
sense of that adventure is still there. You because to be honest, the four of us here, bring all the crew. There's that yearn for you to go back home. There is that, and you feel within you that you really want to, but because of X, Y, and Z, I'm saying that X, Y, and Z, we can take a look at it and say, hey, okay,
Good point.
school check, make sure the kids finish school here. I mean, listen, you know, when it comes to hospitals, when it comes to healthcare, I mean, how many times do we fall sick? You know, I mean, how many times you can go to the hospital? Somebody will argue that, oh, when you get you fall sick. And I lived in Ghana all my life before in my 20s coming here. I didn't have to find myself in the hospital every day. So
Mhm.
I really want us to. For me, I think that it is something that I find it exciting. I don't see it as impossible. Even though sometimes I talk
That is not going to
like
change tomorrow.
no, 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 no. Listen, listen here. There are challenges, okay, and I'll talk about it. There on the in politics, there are challenges. Infrastructure, there's challenges. We do talk about these things, and we should talk about it. All right, but I'm saying that zeal for you to go back should be ongoing. This whole thing about um, I don't think it's possible to live in your own country. I mean, it's possible. And the point is that you don't throw your blue passport away and say, "Hey, f you," Babylon. You know, no, we're not going to do that, right? F you,
Why not?
Babylon. I'm not coming back here again.
You're checking
You
out.
know, we're not
So
doing that. So
you're not gonna burn that book.
no, you know, I mean, why do that?
You're not
Why
radical
do
enough.
that? No,
You're not radical enough.
no, it's not wise.
I
It's not wise. I
know, man.
mean, so because the point is that you've lived a life here. You have jobs here. There's something that you can run back to over here and
Hmm.
come and regroup.
Hmm.
So we are not going to be those people that f you Babylon. We're going back to Canaan. Going to the promised land. Not going to do that. No, no. So
They shouldn't do that. You say they shouldn't
no,
do that.
we're not going to do that. No, no.
Okay. Yeah.
That is not what I would advise anybody to do. Keep it open. Keep both doors open. Because there's that feeling that when you go home, you're home. However bad it is, you are home. You know.
Yeah, but I'll say though, for if we're talking about those of us who, like the examples that are on this, screen right now, we were born there, came here,
Yeah.
right? Our path is a little different, right?
Hmm.
Um,
Good point.
I think if we said we wanted to move to, some other African country, we wouldn't take it as lightly as we will say trying to move to Ghana, right? Because there's this familiarity. It
Hmm.
might be a little foreign to us because we've been away for a while, and I say this all the time, regardless of how many times you go to Ghana, there's some things in Ghana that you don't know,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And there are some things that will shock your system, no matter how long you stay there. Um, and I think, right, like when we ask about, the reality, b- b- if you've lived in, if all you know is America, for example, right, and you have this yearn to go to Africa, to live in Africa, I'll recommend you not think it's that easy, right? um I recommend you try it, right?
Great
Go
point.
go visit, right? And I recommend you don't go visit during Christmas either, because you wouldn't have time to actually see Ghana for what it is.
Hmm.
There's too much fun going on, the day and the night blending together. You wouldn't see real life, right? Because too many festivities. I recommend you go in at a time where there are less touristy stuff going on, so you can see life as it's supposed to be. Um, and then if you go and you like it, I would say even before you move to Africa, if you've lived in one state all your life, try moving to a different state.
Yeah.
Try it out, right? The shocks that you get for someone who's lived in New York all your life,
Good point.
you move to some place like Texas or maybe California, there are some things that you've been used to that you don't have anymore, right? It's like you live in New York and all you do is, catching the bus and, the subway. Coming to Texas, you're not going to have that. You need a car,
Hmm.
right? So those are things that I would say people need to think about.
Great
Ju-
points.
Just because someone, said, okay, I can do it, I did it, doesn't mean you can do it, right? Their story, and normally all you see are, the highlight and the low light reels on YouTube, right? You don't get to see the real story behind it. So It's not something to be done lightly, I would say, right? Because even us who were born there, we say plan. How much more, who don't have, the only family you have is some ancestral, tie, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me throw in,
Good point.
this question. What are some of the challenges and how are you planning to overcome them? So, because sometimes when I go to Ghana, I took it upon myself to actually ask people what it is that they are going through. Because some are visible, some are invisible. You see what I'm saying? And so if I move back, because it's not like you move 1 month and you're gonna go through everything Ghana has to offer.
Hmm.
If you move in the dry season, you haven't tasted the rainy season. so so it's so and I respect what they tell me, the challenges of whether it's employment, whether it's underemployment, whether it's healthcare, whether um and all those things. And then because I looked at it like these people are no different than me. If I've stayed in Ghana, probably would doing the same thing. We'll be in the same shoes. So I'm trying to figure it out what it is. You have to tolerate certain things you can overcome.
Mhm.
Um, because you're not going to be able to change them. You just gotta let it go. But then there's other things that you can maybe work around it and stuff like that. And so I factored that in, and also your own personal happiness, and say, listen, there's certain things that I don't want to do. And it may be simple as some people like, I like my hot water, man, right? I like my AC, or I like my power, right? And some people just, they say, no, I'm not gonna give this thing up. Okay, you can have all those things, but you just gotta, plan and have that in there. And so I think that sometimes the challenge is, even when we watch somebody's living in Ghana and they're happy, maybe the things they don't have no value to them, so they are fine.
Hmm.
But you is going to be a problem,
Or they
especially
accepted
when
it.
you, yes, especially like if you move there with a whole gang and you have some strong opinions in there about certain things. It's going to be really be a stressful thing. And so for me,
You mean the whole family? You say gang.
yeah,
You mean
I
the
mean the whole family, like the whole family, like maybe, I mean, with this kids with internet usage, maybe you are not internet, you're not into internet like that. You just want to check your email and stuff like that. I mean, you can't just go there and say we're going to use 1 gig a month,
Read a newspaper.
right? And talk about, in the 80s when you were born, this is what you have to do. That's not going to work.
Wait for someone to read the first page and then you
That's not going to work. And so there are certain things that maybe we may call it even petty, but it's very important to some people, right? It's very important to, like, some people, for reasons that they don't want to live too far. They be okay. Maybe I have anxiety about the healthcare system, so I want to be close to the good hospitals, right?
Yeah.
So if you put them an hour and a half away, it's a problem.
Hmm.
If they have the anxiety, they have the anxiety. You can't reason out of that. So these things are things like people really need to figure out. And there's certain things that you can't do anything about it. You just gotta swallow it. That's the way it is. And so for me, I take that, and I've also even asked other YouTubers that have moved down there, say how they live here, and they also give me some tips and stuff like that. If I have to live all things where I have to live, I'll grind it out. But you're supposed to live life forward, not backwards. When you grow up grinding, you don't want to be grinding for your rest of your life. Certain point, you
Hmm.
want to be a little bit comfortable.
Hmm.
And so I even asked them, and even the feedback they give me, because some of them were born in the West or they grew up in the West, is very, very helpful. It's really, really very, very helpful, because you have to understand the dynamics, of certain things. Maybe you'll be traffic. Like I hate traffic. Like I'd rather leave 4 a.m. right? 4 a.m. and come late after traffic. But some people don't care about traffic. And my only reason for traffic is just like is those diesel smoke. It's not even about the cars, just the diesel smoke of
Hmm.
just inhaling that kind of stuff. And so for me, I think that you're gonna tolerate certain things not gonna be able to do it. But the things that are critical to you, I think you need to really come up with a way how you're gonna resolve that. Because you might go over there and you might not be able to accept it. We thought
Well,
you could. Go ahead.
so moving there is a challenge, okay, and it's to me it's a sacrifice. So I'm picturing husband and wife moving their kids there. You know, it's a sacrifice. So the two of you should actually, the two of you, like a husband and wife, my wife and I have to say, you know what, we're going to sacrifice the X, Y, and Z, okay, X, Y, Z, A, B, and C, because we want to live here, okay. So
Okay.
and again, I'll come back to
Good point.
so how am I planning to overcome them? So a place like Ghana, where you go establish yourself and your family. Um, I think that to me, living both worlds, living both worlds where you can you can say it's not like you move the whole crew back to the state, but the point is that you can go to and fro. Is one of the ways people can live over there. I mean,
Hmm.
this whole
Hmm.
attitude of you know I've gone back and that's it. I think that people are not giving themselves the chance to succeed, because I think I'm of the view that if maybe something happens and you have to come back and get some money and go back, build
Great.
capital and go back, there is nothing wrong with that. So those are one of the ways that you can plan to overcome your fears of living in the West. You go there and somebody needs a surgery. You've built systems in ways that you can still come here and afford the healthcare to go through the surgery and then go back to home. So I'm saying that give yourself that chance for you to live in both worlds. Because
Hmm.
who says that we human beings should stay in one place? Who says that?
Hmm.
I mean, we're not
Exactly.
even designed that way.
Good point.
Hmm.
We're not even designed that way. Like you just get up, go put yourself in Ghana, and it's like that is where you're going to stay for the rest of your life. No, nobody has said so. Nobody has said you should do that. Okay, if the
Hmm.
politicians are going to London, France, and Dubai for their healthcare, I don't think they even go to Dubai or Germany. You know, and what's wrong with you also going to do maybe some blood work somewhere else?
Well, they
Or
go to Dubai to get cardio work.
right. No, so there is nothing wrong with that. So if
Eric,
it's
don't say
healthcare,
anything.
if you don't want to go to a Confanochi teaching hospital where you go and die, or Kolebu where they'll put you on the floor, you know, and you
Great
need
point.
procedure done, and you can afford maybe, to pay some pounds in London, go and do it. So then you check out that box,
Correct.
okay? So nobody's saying that you should go lock yourself up over there, rip your passport and
Yep.
say that you cannot move anywhere else. I mean, who says
Hmm.
don't come to the? Nobody's going to prevent you from come to the U.S. to do something.
Hmm. Hmm.
Hmm.
So
Good point.
so I mean, some of
Good
the these are
point.
some of the things you're supposed to look for. I mean, look at. If the kids are in college, they can live here by themselves, and you
Hmm.
husband and wife can go live there.
Great points.
Just and the
Hmm.
kids will be okay. People,
Hmm.
you can leave them here, and then when holidays, they can come visit you guys, or you guys can come here. When the
Hmm.
kids are of age and they're working here, it's just we should just break away from this whole attitude of you put yourself in a box, and then lock
Yeah.
yourself in the padlock, and it's like, oh, I'm not moving anywhere. No,
Good point.
it's
Yeah.
nobody's saying don't, nobody's saying you should do that. Nobody's forcing you.
let me
So
bring. Go ahead. Let me bring this Leslie. This thing, this thing here. Uh, Leslie, awesome, awesome comment here. This thing that I've been worrying about it. This is how I negate it. This is how I negate it. I have my routes. So, and I try to pretty much take certain routes that I know the checkpoints, and I know these guys at the checkpoint. After a while, I know them. I know their names. When I'm coming, they know that it's me because, and I don't take shortcut, especially in the middle of 2, 3 a.m. I take these routes, and I know it's 6 checkpoints, and I know exactly where the checkpoints are. So usually I'm speeding, I get out of my Kakra. Right? So I know these checkpoints. But this thing is a problem, especially when you drive to a different place
Mhm,
and then there's some makeshift checkpoint over
mhm,
there
Yeah.
and you roll your glasses, and stuff like that. And then next thing you know, they're not real.
mhm,
These things happen,
mhm,
Yep.
especially when you go outside Accra, traveling on the motorway, something like that. These things happen. So these things is like, it's important. It's really important to consider how you move, where you go, and and when you're coming back, you know, um, take the major highways. Don't take back roads. Because some of these places, when they stop you, you can't even go back. I'm gonna be out kind of beton the ground. Right.
what I'll say about this is, Leslie, see, something like this pisses you off, and you want to take a break from the country. It's okay, you know. It's like, I don't want to deal with the checkpoints. Let me
Great
go to
point.
America. You want to come back home, and I don't know if you're an American, but you want to come back to UK, or you know, I, that is how I feel like you can live in Ghana. Okay, there are things that will frustrate you. And I'm
Yep.
saying that, when these things frustrate you and you want to break, take a break.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
take a break. Like,
Yeah.
let's some,
Good point.
the project can still go on. Life can still go on over there, but take a break. You know, and that's politicians do it. You know, and their family members do it.
Hmm.
So that's how I
Well,
feel.
well, if, even us living here, we do it sometimes, right? That's what we call vacation, right?
Right.
Because
We
you
do.
get tired of your day to day, and you need an out, right? So yeah, it's really right. I agree with what um Leslie said about those makeshift checkpoints. Because
Hmm.
I always ask myself this question: how do I know it's real, right?
Yeah.
Because look, Tony, you can say
Great point.
outside of Accra, right? But I know some daring people right in front of police headquarters.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
can
They'll
put a
do.
makeshift.
Yep.
They'll
You get
do.
what I'm saying? Right in front of police headquarters, they'll put a makeshift,
Hmm.
right? Because by the time that the real police might come, they might be able to stop a couple people,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I think that is a problem. Something needs to be done. And then to make it worse, the roads are not well lit. For you to
Hmm.
even say, "Oh, you know what? I don't think that's a real police uniform."
Uh-huh.
You can't even see it,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah.
So uh, I do this, and I get in trouble for it sometimes. I'll throw my high beam on you because I want to be able to scope my surroundings.
Hmm.
I'll throw my high beam, and then when you come to me and I realize you are the real thing, I tell you I'm
Good
sorry.
point.
Hmm.
I'm just trying to be careful here, right?
Yeah.
I don't know who is stopping me.
Hmm.
The fact that I drove past here not too long ago and there was no police barrier, and all of a sudden there is one.
Yep.
Common sense says I need to question that.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
You know, and you know, like there are some things that will let you go out and have to be out at night, but
Hmm.
there are other things that you can do during the day that
Yep.
those crooks will not be able to harass you either. You just have to figure a way out.
But
Yeah.
the thing is, we have to just make it known that these makeshifts, it's not like the norm every day.
No, no,
I,
no,
I
it's not.
I've never seen it. I've never seen a makeshift before. Honestly.
Yeah, you
Great
you
point.
you go you go to bed early before the cock
No, no, no.
crows.
Well, I even
Oh,
traveling. I travel at night. coming from Cape
So
Coast.
you say you've never been involved, but it takes one.
Right.
It really
Right.
takes
That's what I'm
one to
saying.
mess
Oh
with
yeah.
to
That's what
mess
I'm
to
saying.
Yes.
experience.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That whoever is watching, it's not as if it's a it's an epidemic.
Hmm. No, 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 no.
Where
No, it's
where
not. It's not.
it's
And
not.
look, and no one is saying these these checkpoints are a bad thing, because some of them are necessary, right? They're trying to catch people who are doing nefarious activities, right? So it's good to have them. And I if it's done right, I don't have any problem with it, right? But sometimes these people take it to a different level. They are there to try to do the right thing, and then all of a sudden they stop you and you don't have anything, but then they want something from you. Like, that's the part that annoys me. Are you trying
Listen,
to are you trying to waste time on me while the guy that you were supposed to stop and actually, arrest, drove right past me and your
yeah.
checkpoint?
It's I mean, when I go at minimum, I go like 5 or 6. The most I've gone through maybe 7 at a night. And I understand what you are doing it, but man, that thing is so ineffective sometimes. It's like they're not even looking in the car. It's just like, I mean, because what they are profiling, right? Which everybody, they should not be profiling.
Hmm.
Everybody that they pull over is a potential suspect,
Hmm.
right? I don't care if he has SUV. I don't care if he's a G wagon. It doesn't
Hmm.
matter.
Hmm.
The issue it should be everybody get it by their profile.
Hmm.
If he's taxi with 3 guys, you're gonna get scrutinized.
Hmm.
If you got a nice SUV and stuff like that, you get salute. That's a
Hmm.
whole different
Hmm.
topic.
That's crazy.
And so Aja, what do you think? What are some of the challenges and how you plan to overcome that? Or you there, you are so diehard Ghanaian, it doesn't matter. Like,
No, I face a lot of challenges, but I think the big challenges you can mitigate that, but the little ones is the difficult one. Like the your hospital, if you medical, you can have some money that when you need your checkup, whatever, you can come back and get your checkup, like you guys said.
Hmm.
And for car, what I think you can just avoid the time that you go out and you come back home. But the what I found the most challenges in Ghana is in the morning when I wake up in the morning, I open the window so I can get some fresh air. And there is somebody over there burning garbage. And the smoke from the garbage coming right the smoke of the garbage coming right in my window. The first few days, like I was freaking out. I thought the house is something is burning in the house, but it's somebody's garbage. And I didn't have the gut to open my gate and go there and tell her, don't don't do this. Like it's not good. But I have to just live with it every single morning. I have to wait for her to burn the garbage before I go open the windows. How you gonna make something like this? And if I have to go out, if I have to go out to Zongo, I pack if I'm with the kids, I pack their lunch because if I didn't, I'm expected to feed the whole family to give money, and then the whole family will cook enough for everybody to have to have a
Great
dinner.
point.
And like when I'm there alone, the house is only 3 bedroom. Someone wants to live with me because the house is too big for me. They're wondering like the house is too big for me. Somebody has to be living with me. I'm good. Like I live in 6 bedroom here. I can't wait for the kids to go to school every morning. I like being alone, but no, 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 no. Nobody understands. Somebody have to live with me to take care of to take care of me. So things like that is actually because you will explain yourself and
mhm.
they cannot they're not even
Wow.
understanding what you said, like they're almost like you speak in different language
Good point.
to them. But when there is the cousins and the aunts are doing something, all I do is I just watch, because if I start talking, it's gonna come back to me wanting to do something, mostly wanting to pay money for something. If, if somebody is now going to school, it's going to be, oh, because of something, something is going to, and then it's going to end up on me. Like I have to do something, I have to pay. So this little stuff, like I find it really, really annoying. So I have to like, that is like, I have to like make myself go to Zongo once a week. And then I have to go for a couple hours and come back. It was very like this, but I, despite of all that, in spite of all that, I had a, I don't know, I had a good time and I had fun, because I'm, I'm really except for the garbage thing, but I did, you know, it was good. It was good. The challenges is there, but we can still manage the challenge. So because you can't let something like little challenges like stop you from your living your life or living your dream or what you want to go and do in Ghana,
Great point.
especially when you're very tired of outside here. And like you guys said, you can take a vacation. We do take a vacation here. When you get tired, you just come and take a vacation, couple of months, and then go back again and recharge and get ready to take all that in again. So,
The smoke, take all the smoke again.
Yeah.
I used to, that smoke thing is also notorious for certain buildings on fire, because usually they will burn them at the adjacent wall to your house, right?
yeah,
In
They
the
should be
corner.
burning them
Yeah.
in the middle, away from
The wall or
everything.
anything. Yeah. They
But
burn
they'll
in the
put it
corner.
like 2 feet from the wall, and then if it's windy, the sparks is just, you know. But
yeah,
anyway, that is
So Sherry said what Sherry said about the car.
the
So
the Range
you
Rover,
know,
nice
where
car.
here you think a SUV is not so important here because the roads are good. See, in Ghana,
Mhm.
you need an SUV.
You need, yeah. You
Yeah,
need like,
you need that.
yeah.
You need an SUV.
It
Good
is a
point.
need.
It's a necessity, and it's like
yeah,
all these. I know people want to drive Lamborghinis there. You want to drive a Porsche. If it's a Cayenne, that's okay. Porsche Cayenne, that's fine. But you want to drive a Porsche Panamera,
Macon is
whatever,
not bad either.
but you need a car. You need an SUV. Okay, so shoot that SUV. You say Land Rover. Land Rover.
Leslie, you're going to hell.
you know. So and then some of the techniques in which we will live there. I think we've mentioned it on this platform before. The building systems and working together as a group.
Mhm.
Okay, so then if I know Eric is around, I know Tony's around, I know Haja is around, that is a community right there. Even though we might live in different places,
Mhm.
even though we might live in different places, if I need something, I can call Eric and Eric will say, "Oh, we go
Great
to our
point.
super here and there." That sense of community is to me, it's so important to me. So then if I see Jamaicans over there who live in the US, but even though we're not brothers, we share something in common because we all have
Mhm.
that Western experience.
Yeah.
We're all coming from the West. My brothers who are Ghanaians who also lived in America. So that don't go there and go live by yourself. You need something from the Ghanaians who live there, the indigenous Ghanaians. You need something from them. They need something
yeah,
from you. You need
Mhm.
something from your brothers and sisters who came from the US, who also lived there. Is you sharing ideas together. You're using the same. They're referring you to their builders, their plumbers, their electricians. So these are some of the ways that we can move. We can make the move a little bit easy for us. And then listening to people's experiences. If somebody was duped because he took A B
Great
C
point.
steps, I listen to the experience and then try and avoid being defrauded. So I think that sense of community. I mean, have a network of doctors and nurses who will help you. When you have kids, who will be ready to start a drip for you.
Good point.
To advise you what medications to get, so you don't go buy some Chinese medicine. Sorry, go and buy some medicine that is fake. Um, so that sense
Great
of
point.
community is very important.
Mhm.
is very, very important.
Now I know for this question, I know we kind of like spoke a little bit
Hmm.
about it in our discussion, but I think I want us to just dive deep. Um, and I know some of you mentioned like you don't have to destroy the bridge, throw away your passport, and just move. I mean,
Hmm.
it's just like be smart, be strategic. Listen, you know, take all the benefit from here, there,
Hmm.
and stuff like
Hmm.
that. Be flexible. Flexibility is always very important. And so that is for me for this question. I didn't start thinking about it to maybe like last year, a year and a half ago. That I said, okay, I need to have a backup plan. A backup plan should you just move over there and then
Hmm.
maybe things doesn't go according to plan for some reason sometimes because you made mistakes or reasons beyond your control. I don't want to have to like start over 100%, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Because you age catch up, right?
Hmm.
So maybe I need to be more strategic and be flexible and look at everything else in the world, everything that affects the world, and so that I make sure that I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket,
Hmm.
right? So I started thinking about, and for me, what I started thinking about it in the sense that maybe I'll probably be hybrid.
Hmm.
I'll be hybrid. I'll be moving, flowing back and forth.
Hmm.
Maybe I might spend more time in Ghana, but I'll be flowing back and forth because if I stay there too long, I'll be bored. I get bored as after a certain point. So that means that I need to have resources in both. So then it's kind of if I move here, so maybe if you set a house, then maybe you get a 1 or 2 bedroom condo.
Hmm.
So when you move to Ghana, you can rent it out, whatever, and stuff like that. But you're still not doing the house maintenance like you would do, like with a regular house. So
Hmm.
you start thinking about all this. And I think once you do that, uh, it makes you a little bit more comfortable knowing that okay, you have a couple options, right? So if it doesn't work, bingo, I'm not starting over. I'm not boxing myself in. I'm not tying myself down to anything. And so I think for me, I think that is my approach. I know some people are like, they just hardcore, man. They just go in, they're like, forget it, it's a wrap. Like, you know, and in certain things you can do that. But I also think because and the reason I make that decision is when I was 11, 12 years old, I saw people that had it all and blew everything up by 50. And so these were people that were very, very successful. But when they lost everything, it was a shadow of themselves, right? And so, you know, you can lose it all. One time you
Yeah.
doing fine until you get a checkup, be like something is wrong, right? And so that means that you really have to be more strategic. So I like the fact that you guys were saying, listen, you can just float through it, you know. Don't let any circumstances pressure you that you moved and when you come back you'll sell out, or when you come back you're anything. Man, live your life, man. Live your life.
Oh,
Have a best way.
I'm buying in the best of both worlds.
That's
Not
right.
selling out
Live your
anything.
life.
You know what?
It's like
Go ahead, Tony. Sorry, I didn't make you
yeah.
up.
So I'll wrap it up. So live your life to the best to the best that you can. If you float. Listen, at the end of the day, when you sleep at night, it's just you and your conscience and
Mhm.
you and yourself. There's
Mhm.
nobody out there doing anything.
Mhm.
So you make sure that the design, the blueprint is for you and for your family, and it makes sense for you, and it's gonna work. It's not for I don't care if nobody likes it. It's not your life, right? It works for you, perfect. If that means you do 1 month each, and it works for you, take it.
Mhm.
Take it.
Yeah, and that's like you see what one thing I like about conversations like this, right? Is it brings views from different perspectives. Um, Sly Mayor, friend, rest in peace, and Ghana and those
No,
Aboboyas
no,
and Okadas. Sorry. Yeah,
no.
but I think I think going hybrid is good, right? But we also need to be careful. People might, someone, not people, someone might listen to us and think, oh, you know what? They said go try it out, and if it doesn't work out, come back. I think you need a plan, right? And the
Yep.
plan should be, I'm gonna try it out minimum XYZ, right? If you
Mhm.
go and try Ghana for 2 weeks, you didn't try anything. You know what I mean? You didn't even finish unpacking your suitcase. You
I mean,
came back.
what if the smoke was so unbearable morning, afternoon, evening? They were burning this. They do a
Well,
charcoal factory next to your
okay,
house.
okay, okay. So if that's smoke is worrying you that much, right? Maybe you need to figure out where else you could be, right? Because my thinking is this: if during your building process, right, and I'm assuming that someone took time to build, right? That's the assumption here because that's what we're doing. If during the building process that smoke thing was a problem, you are going to see it. You find ways to maybe curb it. I don't know how. Man, like all the knowledge that we have from here, about to put some smoke detector water sprinkle system on. You bring it on, I quench it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there are ways to get around these things, but like to be on the more serious side, there are conversations that neighbors need to have, right?
Yep. Yep.
Um, you know what? I'm not asking you not to burn your trash, even though it's unhealthy, right? Um, I'm not asking you not to burn whatever you burn in, but do it in the right way, right? Do it in the right way. Make sure that your pleasures are not, inconveniencing other people. Brand fresh morning. Oh yeah, exactly. You know, it's like, oh, sorry, that was an accident. Now you can't burn it anymore because it's wet. You have to wait till the afternoon, and maybe by that time I'm gone to town. Then you can burn,
Yep.
right? But
Another
see,
tip. Sorry, another tip. So what I'm also doing sometimes is it's good to have water pipes
hmm
around the walls,
hmm
and then usually about 150 retractable cord, water cord
yeah,
will just get you to spray dust stuff,
yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. So
Yep.
that's one things people can add into that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's I think I think with time, some of these practices I just think people don't have any other way of dealing with trash, and that's what they do. Once things are done better, once people have receptacles to put stuff in, right, and they actually do it, then no one will be burning anything. So to me, I think that is, I just problem. It's not unique, but hopefully we can solve it. I just sometimes maybe a conversation, just give them a piece of chocolate, say don't burn it in the morning. I want
The,
my fresh air.
the thing is, most of the neighbors, there's garbage person who's coming. Like we pay 2 CD, 3 CD.
Yeah,
Everybody's good, but for her, no, she's just like to burn it.
yeah. Some people don't want you to see their trash. So
So
yeah.
I was going to say, with this question. So one of the main reasons why we move is economics, is
hmm
job.
hmm
Okay,
hmm
so let's say you land a job in Ghana or you land a business where you're making money.
hmm
You know, okay. So then maybe you lose that business, or you lose money runs out, the business folds, and then you don't have any money. You should be able to come back here and find a job and work.
hmm
So that question is a good question.
hmm
Um, you need to have a backup plan.
You need
So
more than one plan.
you need more than one plan.
Yeah.
So it's
You need
just
a backup for the
it's
backup for the backup.
Yeah.
you need all that. So, but then other people go and they succeed. People
hmm
go start businesses, start a big farm. You saw a
hmm
guy who started a
I'm
big
doing the data on that. I'm trying to collect this data
On
about
on
people
how
who
many
went
people have been
there
to
successful?
to
successful.
to I know a lot are coming back, but I'm trying to um I'm getting the data, and also I'm trying to one thing I'm also trying to figure it out. What is the duration, right?
Mm.
Like how
Are
long
they
are they
get,
surviving
yeah,
it?
how long? Are they 5 years, 10 years?
Hmm.
So I'm working on that.
But even those who
I
are
think
those who are
I think
successful, right?
yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead
Those
now.
who are successful, it's hybrid though. They're hybrid though. Just like you
They're
say,
hybrid.
they,
Yeah.
they go and come. You know,
Oh
they
yeah.
come here,
Oh
they
yeah.
school here, they gain the knowledge, they have the skill, they go there, they
Mhm.
have a successful rice
Yep.
farm, chocolate
But
factory. You
but
know,
Anaya, you know this. This is, if it was all about skills
Hmm.
and ability, all of us can go and blow it out of the
Capital.
water.
Capital.
Sometimes when you bring there's local dynamics, like we call it, right?
right,
When
Hmm.
you
right.
go down there, when you go down there,
No,
there's all kinds of
so
stuff that is going on.
this story about this the
So,
guy, this guy who's successful in rice farm, and he's doing other things, not just the rice farm. Okay, and he's a tech guy, so he's very successful. I mean, when you listen to his story, just like you're saying, the factors is family. Family played a major role in his
Hmm.
success.
Hmm.
Okay, and I was telling Eric, not everybody has that.
Hmm. Not
You know,
everybody has that
that's
backing.
that same family variable will tear you down when it comes to when it comes to the larger subset of a set of people. They don't have that. So and you listen to the story, daddy started building something, and he also went try his hands on it, became successful at it. So it's the family dynamics in there.
Hmm.
For us, most people,
Mhm.
the dynamics is sketchy. It's all radioactive. They want to eat you up.
And some of the people that I have seen on he came to Africa and did this, I'm beginning to get into their circles, and I'm gonna tell you the stories that they said on the interview. That's not what a story is. That is, I'm just telling you, that's cute little story. I came here and I did this stuff. It's not. It has tentacles, like a spider web, with all kinds of stuff in there. And so that's what I'm telling you. It's like,
Well,
if you watch
here's the
that story, you go bravo.
thing.
You
Here's the
have to
thing.
be sniffing charcoal,
Here's
smoke
the
every
thing.
day.
So one person says, "I came from America and I built this whole estate, this whole real estate company." You know, you're looking at more than 500 million. You know, you ask yourself, man, how did he do this? So the tentacles you're
Nobody
saying,
asked.
the
Nobody
tentacles you're
asked.
saying, the tentacles you're saying, it has there's some kind of politicians in there. We know that.
There is. Yeah, there is. People are
How?
laundering money.
Listen.
People are
No,
laundering
when you
money through
no
different
no
things. So
when you say there are, listen, is nearly impossible. Okay, because even let's say you bring money, you
Mhm.
have to give up. I mean, this is the deal. You have to give up some equity.
Yeah.
You have to give up some things, and it's not. That is why sometimes when these stories come out and stuff, I say, Madame, for because I'm trying to figure out all these things out how these people are moving big, and I'm
Tony,
telling you, man,
I
there's
think
other stuff that is even up. We can't even discuss here.
yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
is
But
going on.
but you see that is one of the things, though, right? We should also look at and I think maybe we should try and answer that Cheryl's question, hello, like
Uh,
after this.
this
Yeah,
one.
right. Yeah, but my thing is, we need to. It's easy to catch the glamorous stories and say, "Oh, this is something big that this person is doing. It looks flashy." But there are people who are doing things that are not that quote unquote um, you know, cool
Uh,
to do,
On
right?
that scale. On
You
that
know,
scale.
cool to do.
Not on
Like
that
like
scale.
like
Yeah.
someone like you mentioned the other time, cannabis girl,
Yeah.
right? Poultry farming. It doesn't look plush to a lot of people, but people are
Mhm.
making killing in that field. Livestock, small scale farming. Before you know
Mhm.
it, you started with a little bit of thing, and then you went to another crop, you got more land, and then
yeah.
it's going. But the
Tony
thing is
doesn't like
this,
Tony doesn't like fish farming though.
yeah, you see, my thing is this.
No,
If you
but
if you want to go put Tony,
no, I
imagine
can't do tilapia. or catfish, unless it's from Sugakove. Oh, but no,
No, so,
because I spoke to Ghana base for 1 hour,
mhm,
and I told her it's coming, and I
yeah.
said, you get to a level, it's coming,
No,
because
no, Tony. The thing is this. That my thing is this, right? For someone like her, if she's
yeah.
competing with people that are already established, have politicians backing them, then she might have a problem trying to break into the market, right?
So
Well,
I
so
feel
this
that
is
where she's doing it
yeah,
is to her advantage.
well,
She's
but
yeah.
not really in the
So
limelight.
here's the issue. So here's the deal. This is like back stuff. Here's what happened when they killed the poultry industry in Ghana. The politicians made a deal with foreign entity poultry farmers, right?
Mhm,
When we open our markets,
mhm,
right, to some European nations.
mhm,
And what they did was that if you go to the market, if Agia goes to the market and there's a European chicken over there for 5 CDs, and the
mhm,
chicken looks bigger than an I and I combined,
mhm,
okay, and you get this African chicken, much healthier, much
mhm,
more tastier,
mhm,
and it's 10 CDs.
mhm,
For the average people over there,
mhm.
they're gonna buy that, right?
The cheaper one.
So what it is that the politicians are allowing things to come in. So our producers are now making money because there's competition at a price they
yeah.
can't
And
afford,
I had a
right?
complaint about the price of the feed itself is very expensive.
Mhm,
Yes.
mhm.
And
It is.
You
so
know,
and so she and I we talked, and I said, these are, I mean, this is what they are doing, and they're doing to the tomatoes farmers, they're
Yeah.
doing to all kinds of stuff that is going on,
Yeah.
right? So when people wants to talk about, you can do it, but I'm saying is that at a certain point, if somebody start losing money somewhere, they'll pay you a visit. So you better hope that you have a good domestic, right, client, and then you also have to sell it at a rate that is affordable
Mhm,
for them, right? It's affordable. Everything is going up. You can have that, but when you grow to like Kwabena Dakun those days,
mhm. Daku
farm,
Farms.
these politicians will show their ugly head.
Mhm. And then he made a mistake
And,
of
and,
going to
and,
politics.
and that
well,
you see that kind of stuff. So people, it's almost kind of like when you do the best thing to do in Ghana is like if you don't have influence and resources, go quietly. Don't put
Mhm.
it public. Just go quietly. Keep
Yeah,
your mouth
just do
shut. Do
some
your
small
thing.
scale and just be selling to people on the side.
Just do your stuff and make your money and stuff. But once you start going public, you start doing stuff at their I'm saying, no, that better buy,
Mhm,
right? That thing and stuff like that. So there's so many things, and also too, once you put it public, another somebody another country is looking at it.
mhm,
They have more money than you do.
mhm,
They will come in. That's what I'm
mhm,
saying, that we should not advertise all that Africa has to offer.
mhm,
Because if you show in some area place with potential oil and gold and stuff like that, guarantee by next week somebody's gonna be there, and then they're gonna buy out this whole place.
They will fly first class
So you don't show this to some
and sleep
things,
at
you keep it
Kempinski.
indoor, you be quiet about it, right?
Yeah,
And so that's the thing. So I think she'll
yeah.
do
I
well.
think that's a good
Yeah,
point. I think that's a
yeah.
good point.
So
Yeah, being clandestine is good.
yeah,
Yep,
so
that's true.
and
We'll
stuff like that.
probably.
So she,
so
she'll figure it out. She's smart.
it's being strategic. That's what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Being strategic. Because in Africa the politician is the problem. They seem to be people don't know this, especially those outside the country or those who are not Ghanaians don't know this. They're not there to help you. You know,
Mhm.
basically.
Okay. All right. Hajia, what do you, oh, so you talk about your plan B, right? Let me bring the question back up. I don't think Hajia has a backup. Hajia is like, I'm all in.
I just
I'm
all
doing
in.
Zongo once
I
a week.
Yep. Well, I'm packing the
You might
food.
have to do Zongo once a month.
I'm packing the food. Yeah, the only thing that is missing is how to deal with that smoke.
Yeah, yeah,
Just buy a water hose
We may have to pay the 2 CDs a day for.
for the lady.
yeah, exactly.
That's another way to do it. Yep.
Sometimes it's cheaper that way. So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
Can
really
I? Can
Tony,
I?
one of the question that Cheryl had about lacking of ambition. I don't think it's a lack of ambition. Anything that has to do with savings, it's not lack of ambition.
Let me see. Maybe I like it. Where's my money? Gold bonds. Okay, so wait. I mean, gold bonds where in Ghana or here, and so all the stuff.
I think she's. I mean, if I'm not, like I'm assuming she's wanting to invest here,
Government bonds, government
bonds
bonds.
here, right,
Yeah,
and then live off of that in Ghana, right?
yeah.
And and and,
There's a
and I'll
bunch of things you can do. Yeah, there's
yeah,
a bunch of things.
and I'll
Yeah.
say don't just live off
Oh,
the
she said in Ghana. She says in
yeah
Ghana.
yeah, and I'll say that don't just live off of that, right? Let that money work for you as well, right?
Yeah, is
In your Ghana
something.
circles,
Cheryl, let's talk.
yeah.
Was that
Talk to
Cheryl?
Tony.
We'll talk. We'll talk this
Talk,
offline.
talk to Tony.
Okay. All right. So let's go to the fourth one, which is kind of like the if I doesn't cut it for you, where will you live? Could you imagine? Could you imagine like living as well? Like I think once I mentally and 100% make the transition and I'm living that said this is it. I think do or die, I'll be over there. Like I can't re-unpack and go someplace and try to live. No. Could you guys? Will you ever think about living somewhere else? Like, if it doesn't work out, will you come back here, or you gonna be like, I'm going to Rwanda? I'm going to another place. I know Afghanistan has free land. Um,
Oh,
stuff like
so here's the thing. What we have to define. No, I'm not going to define, but I just want to say what is doesn't cut it. Okay, what that doesn't cut it to me is um, money, money. You know,
okay,
um,
yeah,
you go broke.
Good point.
There's no money coming in. Everything's crushed.
mhm.
It's not really going well. And
And
some
there's
of
no
the
safety net too.
there's no
So,
safety
right,
nets.
so
All your savings are dried up. All your investments have collapsed. What are you going to do? You know, I say as much as possible, there should be safeguards to prevent that, you know, from happening. So as much
mhm,
as possible in our day-to-day lives and in our quest to go back and to invest and to build, I think
mhm,
that we should look at other things that would cushion us from these things, because if you're really serious about moving there, you need to start investing into something that you can fall onto, that will bring you some money, you know. Um, you know, it's farming till it's farming, as Eric was saying, poultry, cash crops, you know, um, you have to do something, you know,
mhm,
you have to do something so that you can fall into, because for me, I'm looking at it as money, economics, jobs, you know. Do you have a job over there? Maybe you got a very good gig, and all of a sudden, you're laid off. Okay,
Mm,
mhm.
mm.
how do you survive?
Backup plan.
You really have to have a plan.
Yep.
If that happens, are you going to pack everything and come back?
E-
Or
Especially especially in Africa, right? And specifically
Mhm,
Ghana, right? Because I don't
mhm,
know where how the dynamics are elsewhere, so I can't speak to that. But I'll say, especially in Ghana, um, there's no real credit system for you to say, oh, my credit is good, right?
okay.
So you give me something, or oh, unemployment, or come and take a check to sustain you,
Mhm,
right?
mhm,
So you having your multiple streams of income is really important,
mhm,
right?
Mhm.
having
Great point.
having money work for you when you don't need it.
mhm,
So when you need it, right, you're not like, oh, I gotta pack up and leave and go, find some, minimum wage job somewhere,
mhm,
right? So it's all about it's all about making sure that before the need arises, you've thought about these things,
mhm,
right? I don't want anyone, listening to us on this program, right, to make the mistake of going to Ghana thinking, you know, 6 to 1, right? If I melt $1, I get 6 cities. You're not gonna survive doing that, right? Because the mere fact that you went with that multiplier mindset means you're going to waste your money, right? Because you're going to be out there thinking, oh, it's not that expensive. It's only $1, right? Make that mistake, right? So I think planning is key, right? And there's no one way to make money, right? We've seen people do different things to make legit money, right? In Ghana, people are thriving. There are people in Ghana who've never lived abroad, right? They
Yeah.
might vacation abroad, but they've
Great point.
never lived abroad, and they are wealthy,
Hmm.
buying the most expensive cars outright, right? Because there's no lease system, So the fact that we think that, like we can make it in Africa, anyone who thinks I can make it in Africa maybe is just limiting themselves to, what they know, right? I think it's possible.
Can everybody make it though?
I'm not saying everybody can, right? Because there are people in
Mhm.
Ghana who are not making it, right? But I'm saying
How many?
I'm saying
How many of them?
a lot, right? I'm saying
Yeah.
that I'm saying that the advantage we have, right, being able to live somewhere else and survive it, right? In most cases without family support, right? Some of us came on our own, right? We didn't have mom and dad with us, and we survived it, right? So if we and now we're thriving, right? So if you have that in you, you have a one up on the average Ghanaian who doesn't have this experience, right? You've been able to survive the unknown. So going back to the familiar with more knowledge in your head and a way, know how to move your money the right way, you have a leg up over them, by far.
Yeah.
You might be
I
even.
think when we move back though, I think that the challenge sometimes when we move back is this. It's more of a mental decision. And Hajia, you can come in, please. We can like ignore
Yeah.
you a little bit. It's more like of the mental thing, which is okay. You grew up here. There was the type of mindset. You spend 15, 20, 25 years. You adopted a different set of mindset. When you come back, there's a fight to see whether you should accept certain things, like
Mhm, mhm,
simple, not simple as like your neighbor burning
mhm.
trash, right? Smoking your house, whether you should accept it or say that no. And that, certain people deal with this differently. Some people will say, no, 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 no. This little thing I don't want to deal with, right? And so it's kind of like for me, like I go through that. Like, do we really have to destroy the beach?
Mm,
You see what I'm saying?
mhm,
It is something that I could never understand,
mm.
right? Beaches which are like prime anywhere in the world. Do we
Yep.
really have to do it this way?
We're sitting on the Gulf.
I'm telling you. And so for me, stuff like that, I'm like, I can't accept this. I can't accept this. So maybe I may not have to go to the beach anymore because I can't, you know.
I,
And
I, I I
so,
think there's a different solution to that, Tony. Shunning the beach completely, I don't think is the right way. I think there are ways to go places, right? You patronize places, and people start seeing what you don't like, and if they know that you are one of their prime money cash cows, right? Right. When you show up, you don't do the one bottle of club for 3 hours. You get what I'm saying? So
I have
if
those places, but the beach in there, then.
no, 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 see, no, no, Tony. The thing is this: just get a group of people, right, who are like you are thinking. I can't stand this, right?
Hmm.
Say that I'm going to come to this venue when you've
Hmm.
changed it. I'm not bringing my money here.
Hmm.
Let it not be just you. Let it be a collective. Things will change. I always say this thing about mindset. I know there
Hmm.
are some things we can change, but this smoke issue that we're talking about with Haja, it's not only a local Ghanaian to a Ghanaian diasporan thing. There are
Hmm.
people in Ghana who can stand it and they've never traveled and they
Hmm.
fight with their neighbors for doing it,
Yeah.
right? It's not really a diasporan versus a diasporan dynamic. right? It's not that. And I think like I believe in numbers, right? I believe in numbers. If you have a lot of people who think like, okay, these things are not the way they're supposed to be, I won't accept it, right? I'm not saying outright reject it. Let people know that, you know, you got away with it the first time, the next time you won't, right? Educate people. There's a better way of doing it this way, right? Instead of burning your trash, why don't you just figure out the two cities and let them pick it up,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like
Ajay, what do you think?
there are ways of solving these problems.
I mean,
Um, if Africa doesn't cut it, well, Africa has to cut it for me because when we live back here, we basically live very comfortable, like a home.
Mhm,
You have
mhm,
first of all, you have your papers. There's nothing nowhere you can go, nowhere you can be. You are totally living like you live in your home when you're
mhm,
living
mhm,
like America, Canada, UK. You have your kids out, have a good school. Everything they living like not much different with the citizen. Actually, not different at all with this with the native uh, um, the native people. You basically live. You have another home here.
mhm,
So when you say if Africa doesn't cut it, like I don't know, maybe if Ghana doesn't cut it, you want to go to another African country, and I can see myself because Ghana is where home is, right? So I can see myself going any other African country when I don't know anything, I don't know anybody.
mhm,
So
mhm,
like home is where the heart is. That's why at some point of your life you just need to be home. Like
Good point.
no matter how fun it is to live here, at some point when I'm in Ghana, like when I see somebody the first week, the second week they see me, oh, where are you? When are you going back? I'm like, really? What do you mean when I'm going back? I just come to my home and then
Great
you
point.
asking me when am I going? I get really annoyed of that kind of question. Oh, you still here? When are you going back? Like, really? So I think I don't know. Like, if Ghana doesn't, I mean, it has to cut it.
it
Like,
will cut it for you.
it has
Well,
to.
well, can I say this? We are building structures to make it a home for us, to make it comfortable for us. I think that's what we're doing right now.
mhm,
Okay, we are in the building steps, building, process to make it. So I believe that all of us here, including our friends, you know, we would be able to survive over there.
mhm,
You
Yeah.
know, because you're not going to be paying mortgage or paying rent to somebody.
Mhm,
You're going to have some car over there,
mhm,
some cars over there.
Good
Um,
point.
you would have that income, whether it's coming from the U.S. or it's locally. You should be able to
mhm,
build that before you go there. So if it's not cutting it, then maybe you're coming back to coming come and do some one-to-one over here to uh you know but I don't think, honestly,
mhm,
especially for those who are really planning very well before
mhm,
effecting any move. I don't think
mhm.
they're gonna go there. I'm not planning to go there and fail, honestly. I'm
but
Yeah.
not.
but
If it's
so
if it's not
uh,
if I'm not ready, I'm not going. You understand?
so I'm giving the extreme. So if it doesn't cut it, it could be something beyond your control, like what happened in Guinea, what happened in Mali,
Well, yeah, I mean,
right?
you know,
That's
And
super
so
extreme though.
no, but I'm saying is like well, it looks extreme for us. Is real
No, no, no.
for those
I'm no.
countries, like
Yeah,
so.
but even
I'm not.
but
I'm not
even with
saying.
that, do I have to leave if that happens
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Ghana?
yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like,
No, no, but
just because it happened doesn't mean everything shut down.
Yeah.
no, but it's not that you have to leave. Is that sometimes where you live alone, you can't just move your house. You
Hmm.
can be a victim of the circumstances beyond your control.
Are you
Okay.
suggesting
Even the war,
Yeah.
are you
Uh,
suggesting a
Yeah.
double wide?
no,
That's
even
No,
what
the
no, I'm
Liberian
saying,
War, if a Liberian war, Sierra
no,
Leone war,
I'm
yeah.
saying is that for me, I plan everywhere in and everywhere out. I'm saying sometimes, yes, you can take care of the things that you can control,
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
you know where you stay. how you manage your finances, and
Hmm.
that kind of stuff. But if there's some kind of political instability, you can't control that, right? Now, maybe you're gonna be, I'm a diehard, I need to be in there, right? There's a difference between maybe you boxed in, but you remember when the Corona happened and a lot of Americans were trying to come back. Everybody is tough. Everybody's against her until something really happens wrong. Then you're gonna be like, if you don't have an option, that's a different thing.
Hmm.
You got a blue passport, right? And you have to weigh it out. Okay,
Hmm.
So,
I can
so
stay here and take the risk, or I may
go
have
ahead.
to get out, or maybe get up like Nana said to the nearest country
Hmm.
and try to get out. So I'm saying is that so it's not just like the things that we can really control. It's also more like what if like the other things that we can really sometimes control because maybe some demonstrations, something happens in your neighborhood and they look at you, they say, man, look at our house or look at that kind of stuff. And so those things.
Yeah, I think those issues are, you know, there are things that might happen, but I don't think we should. Like, it's good to think about things that could happen, but you know, I like thinking positive, man. I like thinking positive, right?
Yeah,
I'm not saying bad things cannot happen, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes it's better not to put it in the atmosphere. Do what you're doing. Be a good person. Do it right, and when S hits the fan, you figure it out.
no,
Eric,
but this is
Eric,
this is I think this is home, right? We're talking about Ghana. We're talking about home. We all been there. It's not like we're born here. We all been
Yeah.
there. We all live some kind of life that so we know something. So what if we cannot? There's something happen that we have to stay home. We cannot leave. Like how are we going to survive? Like we ask ourselves a question, that kind of question. How are
Mm-hmm.
we
Yeah,
going to survive?
that's a good question.
Are we going to be going?
Good point.
Or are we just going to
Yeah.
tough it out and live like everybody else in
Hmm.
Ghana? Like if
Yeah.
we
What if you
leave,
didn't have a blue book?
what if we didn't have any choice to leave? Like
Yeah,
what
yeah,
like
yeah. No, I
you
really
know?
thought about my rap.
It's,
um,
No, you see,
uh,
Tony.
That's
I
my
think some.
mind. I already talking about
No,
my rap.
no. I understand. I understand your mind, and I'm not pushing back on that. But like, I'm just throwing something else on the table, right,
yeah,
for
Yeah.
us to think about. Sometimes I feel like enduring things like that, right?
Mhm.
Being being in that environment in those times might bring an opportunity that you never even imagined. You are the only person who can do that for the people, right? And all of a sudden, now you have this idea that
yeah.
you had now becomes reality, and people are coming to you because you are the only person who has this idea, right?
Yeah, but
Uh,
I think we have to. So the reason I go on the stream is this thing. Um, I go on the stream for a reason because even if it's 0.5%,
you know,
things happen.
I'm laughing.
We,
no, no,
when
no. Why?
somebody's watching, looking at Tony's faces. This man is all he's thinking about is just running away.
Did
I
somebody just put it
know.
over
Like
there? Somebody put it over there.
So somebody type,
Oh,
take a
they
plane
did.
and go to somebody
Oh,
type,
Take
nearest
a place
country.
to the
take a
nearest country.
plane
Oh
and
no,
go to
no,
the neighboring
that
country.
was
Nearest
no, that
country.
was
Maybe,
earlier.
maybe no. Maybe you might not even get to. No,
No,
it's
no,
just it's just
but
that it's just that um
we are
it's just
Africans.
that
We are built to be tough. We are like
no,
yeah, yeah,
if,
yeah.
if if
so
there's a coup, in Ghana, right? I mean, that does it directly affect us right from the onset? I don't think so. I mean,
Well,
are they going to freeze my account? No.
Not
yeah,
not
yeah.
not
No,
if you're
no, no,
not
no, no,
in
no,
that
no, no. So
power play.
okay,
Right.
maybe you guys don't. My dad was in the military, and I remember so
Yeah,
81
no. You
and
see,
86. So
your
so
dad
and I
your dad was in the military, right?
so
My dad wasn't. They didn't
Right.
freeze my dad's account. He wasn't a power player.
No,
Right.
but no, it's not about a freezing account. I'm saying it is that sometimes the environment, right? So even the US soldiers, when they go to war, they give them an escape plan when they get captured,
Mhm.
when all these things happens, right? What to say, what not to say. Right? Are all of them gonna get captured? 99.9% are not gonna get captured. But I'm saying these things because when it happens, you are not going to come up with any good plan. When crisis happen, it's not the time you're going to come up with solutions. It's not going to work because you have all these things, contingencies you have to really, really think about. So for me, I've even thought about everything, including when you can't fly out.
Oh, no, no, no,
You
no,
may
no,
have to
no,
learn
no,
a
no, no, no,
different
no, no,
language.
no, no, Tony. Are you telling me you've thought about every single intangible that could happen?
No, no, no. So my two things. If I can't fly out, right?
Hmm.
If I can't fly out, there's two options: on the road or on the water. That's the
Donnie
only
is
two
gonna
options.
What?
Donnie is gonna buy
What?
a
What?
plane.
What?
We already have a joke.
You're gonna
I
Don't
got a
forget
boat.
to buy a plane.
do
I
you
got
have
a canoe.
When we,
do you have an inflatable raft?
we have a
I got a
joke, so
canoe.
yeah, it's gonna
And
yeah.
and no, and
Tony, stop
also
scaring people, man.
no. It's just contingency. And also on the road, you're probably gonna meet resistance. What is it likely they are going to accept? They're not gonna take CDs. They're not gonna take CDs. You have to pay your way out to get to the nearest country. I'm saying now, if I can't get out, then we're gonna do shit out. Then we're
Well,
gonna then if I'm
here's the
stuck
thing.
in there, we're gonna fight. That's it.
Yeah,
You know.
I looked at it from the economic point of view. Where you go there, you run out of money. If you go there and you run out of money, leave the wife and kids over here. Come here as a man. Come and work hard. Get some money. Go back. And then start from where you left off. That I don't think Ghana is going to burn. Ghana have not burned for the past what 60 years. We've not experienced schools for the very longest time. We are pretty much
No, it
mature.
doesn't have to be cool though. No, it doesn't have to be
We, we,
cool. It
we,
could be
we,
the
we, we
economics, right? The
I
global
know,
economic situation.
but
Things
I
can
know,
happen.
but I'm saying that
Yeah.
as a people, I can say we've come a long way. Where we know that I don't have to grab a gun and go shoot my brother just because I disagree with the person. Maybe we'll have some
No, no, not
skirmishes
you.
here and there.
Not you. Now people do them.
I'm saying that a
They're
small group
doing
of
it.
people, a smaller group of people may do it during elections, but we know that man, if we throw gasoline into and then light a match to it, and then burn this country, we have nowhere to go. We know that. Okay,
Well,
we,
well,
we know
but
we know
but
we know
that
the
will
necessity.
come. It is very convenient. I always say this: people that invested in the country really said, "I don't want it to go down." It is not about you go down. The question is that when you have majority of the people, when the cries, the desperations, and we saw a bad video today. You see what they did to those people, the
The armed
viciousness,
robbers.
the graphic. So I'm saying, listen, I'm saying maybe you guys have never seen a life being taken violently in front of you. A human being can flip like this, can be the most loving
No,
thing, and can be the vicious. And so
so
for me, everything is possible. Everything is possible, no
in
matter
the
how
war
remote it is.
situations of war, definitely there'll be people fleeing. Even when it's war, I mean, people will have to get out. If you're a U.S. citizen, they give you an option to get out. So will I?
So
Will I?
you gotta get to the embassy first.
Right. I mean, if there's a plane in there and it says a U.S. citizen needs to get out,
Hajia, we need that woman that burns the stuff because we might need her to because she's good at lighting stuff, so we might need her to
so
lead the way.
so
Anyway,
yeah. I mean,
I
getting
think
out.
I think this is a misnomer though. This Nana Dreams. Corona
yeah.
is killing people in Ghana. Or in Africa. It's been killing people, right?
Mm.
We just in the West we just had it publicized. I know people personally who died from complications of this virus in Africa,
Mhm.
right? So Africa, the sun and all of that stuff, that's nothing on Corona.
Okay. Anyway, so we agree that yeah, we're gonna grind it out. We are big boys and big young lady.
Africa is going to cut it
So
out. Africa is
so
going to cut
we're
it out.
gonna
You
get
just have to
that.
plan well.
This is all about planning for all the contingency, even the 0.1% possibility. Plan, just think about it, and then so whatever happens, you already have your game plan. Then go towards it and run to the Ivorian border. I'll be received. And
Ivorian border. You are in Accra talking about Ivory Coast. Why don't you
I
go
get there.
towards Togo?
I get there. Hey,
This is
if
how
I
you
get
get
to
there.
Togo, I speak Togolese a little bit, so that'll be helpful. All right. Thank you everybody for tuning in. We appreciate the times. Let me give a shout out to Sly Sly. Leslie, thank you again. Nana Dreams. We have some diehard family members here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cheryl, thank you for joining us. We'll be here Friday with another episode, another topic that we are going to talk about. I think we need to talk about these things like about the business aspect, why some groups come over there and they can make it work,
Yeah.
and
I
we
guess
see
if
the
you want to
downside
go
of
that
that.
route, maybe a few, real life examples, if you could, without maybe not necessarily putting people on blast, right? Because if these stories are, you know, public knowledge, then we're not really bashing anyone, right?
No, no. So not like it's more like I'm meaning like other groups, other foreigners coming in
Okay.
and being able to make things work.
Hmm.
Because they come in there and
Yeah. So
and
that's what
they
I'm saying, right? Some of these
yeah
stories are public knowledge, right?
yeah yeah
Because
yeah yeah.
you
Yeah,
could
I'm
you
not
could
I'm
pick
not gonna
you could
put
you
names
could.
out there like that.
Oh well, yeah. Maybe you
No,
we
like
don't
I'm
maybe
not
we don't
gonna
want to
call. No, I'm
advertise
not gonna call like individual names. I can call groups name, but
groups. Okay. All right. Cool.
because I may have to hang out with them in a couple of months. Mm. But anyway, appreciate you. Thanks for taking the opportunity to spend the night with us. Ajay, you have something to say?
I know I'm good.
Oh, all right.
I'm good.
Thank you.
I'm good.
All
I
right,
just I
thank
just, I
you.
just started thinking about how to deal with the smoke issue.